The operation successfully coexists in a unique environment with an Australian Heritage listed wetland, Lake Cowal, widespread agriculture and mining. Inside our protection bund, our two primary open pit fleets, consisting of 16 789 trucks, paired with two primary excavators, have been successfully executing the waste pre-strip associated with the development of the E42 Stage H cutback. The 2.6 kilometre Waraga decline, integrated off the open cut ramp, provides access for underground drill platforms and bulk sample ore testing, with 3 underground drill rigs currently completing mineral resource infill and geotechnical drilling. Our processing plant, permitted to process up to 9.8 million tonnes per annum, incorporates a crushing, 2-stage grinding, sulphide flotation, regrind and carbon in leach recovery, ultimately generating gold bullion. Our water storage capacity is increased, with now close to 1,000 megalitres of water stored on site, complemented by the increased efficiency of on-site recycling. Significant work is ongoing in the construction of the integrated waste landform via a combination of a dedicated fleet and ex-pit equipment. Stage 1 is to be completed shortly, with tailings deposition to begin in the next few months. The IWL downstream construction will ultimately encompass and buttress much of the current southern and northern tailings dams.
This morning I'm going to fly you through a 3D presentation of our 2-year exploration journey, focusing on evolution of geology and mineral resources that define the current underground ore body. At the end of the fly-through, I will leave you with some thoughts about where we believe resource growth from the underground can be delivered in the future at Cowal. We start directly above the Cowal operation with a view straight into the E42 pit. All drilling for the pit and underground resources are shown by the blue drill hole traces. We now move down to a side-on view of the pit, which also shows the as-builts for the Waraga decline. The red point cloud represents assay results for all drilling for the underground, filtered above a 1.5 gram cutoff. I'm now going to run you through a number of scenes that track the growth of the underground resource since our last Investor Day, when we first introduced discovery of the Dalwhinnie mineralisation at Cowal. The first block model we are looking at here is the December 2018 mineral resource for the GRE46 underground. This model captured some of the early results of the Dalwhinnie drilling and moved the GRE46 resource beyond its first million ounces to a total of 1.4 million ounces. Orange blocks represent grades above 1.5 grams per tonne, which is our resource cut-off grade. Magenta blocks are above 3 grams per tonne. The next model I am bringing in is the December 2019 model, which we released in our annual mineral resource and ore reserve update back in February this year. We added over 1 million ounces in this update, which took total underground resources to 2.5 million ounces. The area of most significant growth was the inclusion of a full year of definition and extensional drilling in the Dalwhinnie lode, which extended mineralisation at depth and to the south. The next model in the sequence is our most recent update, which was completed in April this year. 4 months of drilling since the previous update added over 400,000 ounces and brought total resources to 2.9 million ounces. This model is the one we have used to inform the maiden ore reserve for the GRE46 underground. As we rotate back to a westerly view, I am switching colours in the block model to represent classification of the resource. Green blocks are indicated and blue blocks are inferred. The split between inferred and indicated resources is approximately 50-50. Indicated blocks are the only ones available for consideration in the definition of the ore reserve, which, as you can see, is outlined by the yellow shapes that have just appeared. As expected, very few inferred resource blocks are captured in the reserve. In fact, any stope shapes containing greater than 25% inferred resource are excluded from the reserve calculation. Inferred resource outside the reserve stope shapes represents the opportunity for future reserve expansion. As we spin the model back to a west-looking view, I'm switching on our April 2020 resource model, which is our most recent. The magenta blocks represent inferred category material above 3 grams per tonne. The yellow shapes are the MSO designs of the ore reserve stopes. The purpose of showing this combination of models is to highlight the opportunity in 3D to understand where we may be able to convert higher grade inferred resource to indicated category, which can build onto the current reserve. We have prioritised our current drilling program, which is shown by the blue trace lines, to convert higher grade inferred resource to indicated category, where it is adjacent to the currently defined reserve designs. Our goal is to understand what additional material we can bring into the mine plan that has the potential to maximise the grade profile in the first 2 to 3 years of underground production. We have developed a conceptual decline design extending from the current Waraga decline, which can establish new future drilling positions for continuation of confirmatory and resource extension drilling. The rationale for the close-space drilling shown at the top of the resource model is to evaluate model performance as we increase drilling resolution to simulate the difference between resource and grade control modelling scenarios. As I remove the 3 gram grade filter, we can see the total 2.9 million ounce resource come back onto the screen. I've switched off the reserve stopes so these can no longer be seen. And what you now see is that the planned deeper drill holes will attempt to grow resources across the gap through the middle of the model where we have limited drill hole coverage and information. This is an excellent example of resource growth that can be delivered proximal to planned mining infrastructure. The last scene I am showing illustrates the areas for longer term growth of the underground resource. Our surface drilling program will continue to focus on extending mineralisation where it remains open along strike and down plunge. We have planned drilling to be done by surface rigs, with holes prioritised on the basis of those that have the best chance of delivering higher grade into the model.